Welcome back to Hidden Heights Farm. What's going on, guys? So I'm out here at my little bee yard and just kind of checking on them. In the last video you guys seen, I went over to my parents and I was trying to do a trap out, and it's been 2 days now. And yesterday I called Dad. I was like, hey, can you go look at those bees? Well, every time he goes outside, they pretty much get in his face and they try to sting him, and he got lit up pretty good that day. And Rachel did as well. She got 2 stings in the head, and I think my dad got like 5. And bear with me, it is a little windy out here today. But I've been doing some research. I've got to get back over there and I've got to do something with these bees, because even some of the neighbors are starting to complain that when they go outside, these bees are furious. And it makes perfect sense, because they're pretty mad they can't get back into their hive with their queen. And when they can't get to the queen and do their job, they get really upset. So after doing some research online and talking to some people, one thing that was recommended was to, when you're doing a trap out like this, it can take up to a week to 2 weeks. So one thing that was recommended is taking a frame of brood and eggs out of one of our existing hives and taking it over there and putting it in that trap. And what that'll do is it'll kind of give something for those worker bees to tend to the babies or tend to the eggs or whatever. And this is something that we would have to do anyways, because once we get that hive home, we're gonna have to put a frame of eggs in there anyway, because those bees that are in that box are gonna have to establish a new queen, unless we were lucky enough to extract that queen from that hive, which it's pretty rare for that to happen, I think, from what I read. Like I said, this is the first time I've ever done it, so I don't know that for sure. But we're gonna go ahead and take a frame out of here, try to find one that has plenty of brood and eggs in there, and larvae maybe, and put it in that frame over at my mom and dad's house, and let the worker bees do their thing. And if there's not a queen in that box, if she didn't come out, they'll actually feed one of these babies the royal jelly, make a queen cell, and one of these larvae or eggs will turn into a queen for that hive. So I'm gonna let nature do its thing, and you know, they know what's best for them. So anyways, I'm gonna set up my camera. I don't know how much of this I'm gonna film here or at my parents' house when I do this. It's super windy today, and I'm gonna be doing this all by myself. But first off, I'm gonna get into one of these hives, and it's really cloudy today. Hopefully they're not too mad. But I'm going to try to steal a frame of the brood, and then we'll go over there and take the box down and stick in that frame, and hopefully these bees calm down and the rest of them come out, and then I can bring them back here and put them in a real beehive. Alright guys, we got our frame of brood, and it's actually got some pollen. It's got all different stages of larvae in it and some nectar. So it's got food and brood, and I don't see any really small eggs, but I think this is going to work just well for what we are going to use it for. See if, I don't know if I can get that to focus at all. If you guys can see, let me set this down and I'll try to show you guys. But we got all different sizes of bee larvae in here. I'll set it down and maybe I can show you guys. See if I can get this to focus. Alright. So you see these little white things right here that are uncapped? That's actually a bee larva. And you can see there's several different sizes in there. And some of this stuff over here, the different colors, that's actually pollen that they make into like bee bread or their food. And then you got some pockets of nectar, all that shiny liquidy looking stuff. So you can see everything's should be set up for this new hive. Hopefully I'm doing this right. Like I said, this is my first time doing it, but I can't hardly zoom in on one of them. I was trying to show you guys a little better. They look like little white caterpillars, and that's just the baby bees, the eggs growing into the larva. So both sides look identical, pretty much the same. And what I'm gonna do is I got a towel in the back seat of my truck, and the reason I'm using this deep body here is just to hold the frame so it don't tip over and crush anything or nothing like that. And I'm gonna put it in the back seat of my truck and haul it over there, and then get that nuke box down and put that in there, and hopefully these bees will calm down and they'll have some eggs to tend to, and hopefully they'll make a queen. So we'll see you over. Alright guys, so we are back, and this has been 2 days, and what I'm seeing is the bees, it looks like some of them figured out how to get back in there. So I got some more zip ties. I think I'm going to try to close that end up a little more when I'm up there. I'm going to set my ladder up, and then I'm going to get that nook down and put this frame in there. I got it sitting right here, so the battery's fixing to go dead. Okay, so you can see they're still congregating around the cone, and I think what was the problem is that hole was a little too wide, so they were figuring out how to fly up there on the cone, and then they were crawling back in inside the little hole on the end. And now I don't see any going in, I only see them coming out. But what I did is I took a little zip tie and I put it around that end and tried to close it off a little bit more. So now it looks like it's a one-way hole, so the ones coming out are going to keep the ones from going in. I think they're carrying a lot of pollen though, I know that. But that is the reason that I put the frame of brood up there in that nuke box. Hopefully the scent and all that, you know, there was nectar, there was eggs and larvae. Hopefully that scent will make some of them, of these worker bees, want to go on up there and start working that brood. That's the idea behind that anyways. It don't always work that way, because like I said, when they already have an established queen, that's the ones that they want to take care of. And they know she's in there and she's not coming out. If she would come out for some reason and go up in that nuke box, that'd be a perfect scenario. But I think that's very rare that that happens. And I know there's a lot of experienced beekeepers watching this, and like I said, I'm very new at this type of bee work, you know, beekeeping. I have never done a trap out at all, so if you guys got any tips, let me know what you would do. I did not put any lemongrass oil or anything like that as an attractant scent in the nuke box because I don't have any right now. But from what I've seen online, it looks like if I do this right with the frame of the brood, that this might draw them out and into the box. Okay, so we're back home. My battery actually died. I was wanting to film a little more while I was over at my parents' with that beehive in the tree, but my battery went dead. But anyways, what I ended up doing is I got back up there, I took that nuke box down, and I thought about it for a minute, and I watched some YouTube videos, and a lot of them, the thing they were doing a little different, the entrance of their box they were putting right there at the cone. So I put the nuke box back up, readjusted the ladder, got the strap, and I moved it pretty much to where the entrance of that little nuke box is actually right near the entrance of that cone. And I also closed that cone off a little tighter. You guys seen that. I don't know, I didn't get a lot of close footage, and I apologize for that. But when you're messing with bees and stuff like that, I'm not real comfortable trying to film and take my time and all that, you know. And that's the number one thing when you're working with bees, is you need to be patient. One little move and you can really make them mad. Like the other day when I was checking on this beehive here, I lifted up one of the boxes and it was kind of stuck, so I just kept lifting up, and it really it just came all at once, and it really jolted the bees. And ever since then they were super upset, and they didn't want me messing with them at all. But hopefully, since I got the frame out of here with all the brood in it and some food, some nectar, and the larvae, and got it into the nuke box over at my parents where that swarm is, or I say it's a swarm, it's actually an established colony in that tree. Hopefully they'll come out, and the workers will be like, well, we can't get into our existing hive so easy, let's go into this nuke box. There's eggs and stuff, there's work to do. We can bring in pollen, bring in food, see to these bees and get them hatched out. There's not a queen, let's make a queen. So anyways, I know this is a little different video from what our channel normally has. We don't show a lot of us working on the bees, but we're always learning, and you know, once we feel more comfortable with working the bees and stuff, we'll try to do more videos on that. I know a lot of people like to see them and such. And anyways, it's fixing. It sounds like I hear some thunder in the background. It sounds like it might be raining here soon. But hopefully here pretty soon we're going to be able to get some harvest some honey from a couple of these hives. The supers are really filling up. The one with the orange box on there has filled up super fast, and it's almost 100% capped. We're waiting for that, because if you pull the supers with the frames of honey too soon, and you don't have enough of enough of it's not capped off, and that is where they take a wax layer and cap off the little comb after they make the honey. Usually you'll get too much of a moisture content, and it will start fermenting, and it will actually ruin your honey, and it don't store real well if you do it that way. So anyways, guys, if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, leave a comment down below, and stay tuned for future videos. Thanks for watching.